While many people might not like Max Verstappen, we can't deny the fact that he is a good driver, and there are times that he humiliated his opponents. There have been moments when Max Verstappen's actions on the racetrack have caused Formula One to shake its head in amazement. Max Verstappen is just 24 years old, but he has had an incredible Formula One career so far, and it is only getting better. Number 10. Max vs Charles Leclerc in 2022 Miami Grand Prix. Max triumphantly returned to the Florida Winter Series, where he made his professional racing debut just over 8 years ago. After 57 laps, he achieved his goal in Miami. Verstappen beat Ferrari Charles Leclerc in the final laps to win the Miami Grand Prix. Verstappen's second straight win came only a few weeks after he won the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Italy. Max executed a great maneuver to leapfrog Charles Leclerc. He pulled this off by making an inside turn shortly before the last bend. Inside turns at corners are said to be his hallmark maneuver. There is some truth to that. Max won and once again showed that he is the prolific driver that he claims to be. Not only did he outrun Charles, but he also outdefended him, leaving him in the dust. This was classic and a dramatic humiliation for Charles Leclerc. Number 9. Max Verstappen humiliated Hamilton in Brazil Grand Prix in 2019. Sometimes you simply have to admire Max's driving style. One of the highlights of the 2019 Brazil Grand Prix was Max passing Hamilton. Hamilton attempted to retake the lead, but Max was ultimately too powerful for him. The race was thrilling, with Hamilton, Leclerc and Gasly all competing for second and third place. Max Verstappen claimed his 8th career win in the Brazilian Grand Prix, which included a safety car and was devastating for both Ferrari drivers. The genuine drama happened in the last circuits behind the Dutch driver, who had almost perfect control of the race in Sao Paulo and was a worthy winner at the Interlagos. Number 8. Max vs Nico Rosberg in the 2016 British Grand Prix. This race was grueling. Starting in the rain, Max began to fall behind everyone's favourite F1 villain, Nico Rosberg. On the 14th lap, Rosberg was clearly trying to keep up after the 16th lap. Max, on the other hand, was fixated on the price, and even the rain could not keep him away. Rosberg eventually finished third in the race. According to Christian Horner, that move at Beckett's, that was pretty sensational.
Rosberg in trouble. 10-second penalty.
The penalty drops Rosberg from second to third in the race behind Red Bull's Max Verstappen and reduces his World Championship lead to a single point. Stewards ruled that Mercedes broke new rules by teaching Rosberg how to fix a gearbox issue.
Avoid 7th gear, Nico. Avoid 7th gear.
The rules state that the driver must drive the vehicle alone and unassisted. The team's claim that the problem was a significant fault with the automobile was dismissed. Number 7. Max Verstappen vs Daniel Ricciardo in the 2017 Chinese Grand Prix. The Red Bull driver suffered engine trouble in Shanghai, forcing him to quit Q1 and start the race in P16. But that changed after a genuinely stunning start, which some consider being one of the finest in F1 history. He used the inclement circumstances to his advantage, moving up 9 spots in the first lap. One of the most incredible feats in the sport's history. He continued his charge and reached P3 by lap 8. His furious rivalry with teammate Daniel Ricciardo lasted 5 laps. Ricciardo followed him, trying to find a way to defeat him, but Max was too powerful. In the race's closing lap, he battled off Ricciardo, who attempted every potential move shortly before the final corner. Max Verstappen not only humiliated Daniel Ricciardo, but he also demonstrated his superior defensive abilities and dominance over Ricciardo. Max finished third after Hamilton and Vettel. Number 6. Max Verstappen defends against Hamilton in the 2018 United States Grand Prix. Hamilton will remember this race fondly because he came near to winning it at one point. Max chose to put on an amazing effort in the race and embarrassed a champion like Hamilton. With a sequence of flawless overtakes, he quickly got into the top 5 after just 7 circuits. He then kept up with the leader's pace to give himself a chance to win. With a few laps to go, he was in second place, just behind Kimi Räikkönen, who was leading but had to defend rather than attack since Hamilton was close behind him on much fresher tyres. He managed to keep the British driver at bay by driving defensively. This drive had it all: attacking, defending, speed and tyre management, and Max delivered flawlessly. His performance was spectacular and came as no surprise to those who knew what Max Verstappen is capable of. Number 5. Max bodying Charles Leclerc in the 2019 Austrian Grand Prix. Max felt optimistic about his chances of winning after obtaining a front row start at the Red Bull Ring. He did win, but it required a lot of effort. He got off to a terrible start and fell to P9, leaving himself a mountain to climb. With just over 20 laps left in P4, it looked like he would fail. The late onslaught, on the other hand, started with flawless passes on Bottas and Vettel. With just 2 laps left, the Dutchman seized the lead with one of the best moves, dummying to the outside before slipping inside at the last second and passing Charles Leclerc to take his 6th triumph. With his rapid pace and exciting movements, this was absolutely typical Verstappen. Number 4. Max humiliated Bottas in the 2020 70th anniversary Grand Prix. Mercedes dominated the first 4 races of the 2020 season, winning all 4. It looked like they would triumph again in the second half of the Silverstone doubleheader, but Max had other intentions. Max sensed an opportunity in the 70th Grand Prix and grabbed it against his team's advice to maintain his tyres, putting pressure on Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas to pit early. To re-enter exactly behind Bottas on fresher tyres and overtake him immediately, the Red Bull driver stretched his stint by almost twice the length of theirs while maintaining a decent pace. Max's success was commonly linked to his lightning-fast driving style and thrilling overtakes. On that particular day at Silverstone, though, his superb planning and tyre management enabled him to overcome his opponent Valtteri Bottas. Number 3. Max Verstappen humiliates Bottas again in the 2021 Dutch Grand Prix. As if humiliating Bottas on the 70th anniversary of the Grand Prix wasn't enough, he went and did it again at his home race. I am sure the Orange Army was overjoyed. Even if Verstappen's first home Grand Prix win was not the most exhilarating of his career, it was one of the most stunning. In the 30th lap, he drove by Valtteri Bottas, going from P2 to P1, while making an early inside turn to secure his lead. To be genuinely outstanding, an F1 driver must be able to manage pressure, and the Dutchman definitely displayed the skill here. Number 2. Max versus Sergio Perez in the 2022 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Max surprises you with another outstanding performance just when you think he is finished. Max led teammate Sergio Perez by 21 points in the Formula 1 World Championship in 2022, after Red Bull finished first and second in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Sergio Perez led for the opening 14 circuits until Max caught him off guard. After a head-to-head battle at the conclusion of lap 14, Max raced by him on the entrance into the 15th lap, proving his supremacy once again. And they say F1 is a team sport. Certainly not in Max's view. The video will leave you speechless and remind you of why Max is considered one of the greatest and most dangerous drivers in contemporary F1, and this is why he is able to pull off some amazing and unthinkable stunts. Number 1. Max Verstappen vs Sergio Perez Round 2 in the 2022 Spanish F1 Grand Prix. Verstappen won the Spanish Grand Prix. It was his 4th victory of the season at that time. After a dismal 20th place finish, Charles Leclerc, who began the race with points ahead of everyone, ended up being 6 points behind Verstappen. Sergio Perez came in 2nd place behind Verstappen, with George Russell, Carlos Sainz, and Lewis Hamilton rounding out the top 5. Leclerc seemed to have the best vehicle in the field during the early stages of the race until retiring on lap 28 due to power unit issues. Max Verstappen won the Spanish Grand Prix at Montmeló, moving him to the top of the Formula 1 standings. It seemed like teammate Sergio Perez, who was leading, had an edge over Max going into this race and was favoured to win, but a quick overtaking by Max on lap 49 altered everything. It was a really clean overtake, demonstrating Max's driving prowess once again. The frantic overtaking propelled Max from P2 to P1 and demonstrated why he is Red Bull's #1 driver. What are your thoughts on Max Verstappen's driving style? Do you think his style of play is sustainable long term? Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any of our incredible videos. Keep an eye out for the next video. Bye for now.